holidays! I'm Heather. I'm one of the artists here at the Animation Academy at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Florida. This is where we teach guests every day how to draw our classic Disney characters. Christmas is around the corner, so I thought today I'd show you how to draw Scrooge McDuck from Mickey's Christmas Carol. Let's draw! So we're going to start with a simple circle. We're going to use our circle with our shoulder. So kind of practice that above you just a little bit. We're going to go in the middle of your paper. We're going to move it a little bit lower, about a little hair lower down there, about the size of a baseball. So we're going to go ahead and use that shoulder nice and easy, several times around, keeping it light, loose, and very, very sketchy. Lots and lots of messy lines. So we're going to start next with our vertical line. We're going to go right down the middle of our circle. We're going to still use our shoulder. It'll help you get a smoother line. And you can still stay messy with this line and have multiple lines on top of one another too as well. And you go outside that circle if you want, because don't worry, your cleanup artist is going to take care of that later on for you. So the horizontal line is much like Donald Duck's and Daisy Duck's horizontal lines. And you just go on left to right, right across that vertical guideline. Go back and forth. Nice and easy. And then we're going to go ahead and start with his eyes now. And his eyes look a little bit closer to Donald's eyes. He's got really, really big eyes too as well. And I'm going to go for about the center of his eyes. This is between the vertical and the left side of the circle. And we're going to go ahead and sketch it out. I'm going to show you several different ways that you can do this. It is going to work out better just to draw it in as a full shape. But if you want to, you can also, let's take the right side, the center of his eye, it's about the center between the vertical line and right side of that circle. And you can go in there and you can put in a parenthesis, one on the left side, one on the right side, staying inside our circle, and round it off at the horizontal line and at the top. Or you can just go back in and just kind of sketch that out in one full shape. Whatever works out best for you. Now you may look back at your eyes and you may have an eye that's a little lopsided, so you can take your pencil to the top of your eyes. And if your eye is kind of going a little bit off center there, you can go back in and adjust it however you need to, whatever one you like the best. You like your right one the best, go ahead and adjust your left eye. Okay, still very sketchy. We'll go in there, we'll adjust our lines and make it a little bit darker. Let's go ahead and do that now so you can kind of see how we can overpower those light lines with our dark lines. So you just go over the line several times, and you just simply, without pressing down really hard, is go over that line several times, back and forth. And it creates a nice smooth line and helps your line quality a little bit too. Make sure it's nice and round at the bottom. It's kind of tricky to get those round corners there, so just take your time with it when you get those curves. Same thing, it's still a quick sketch, so if your lines are very sketchy still, that's fine. Working in the bottom of his eye and the top of his eye as well. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and work with his bill now, and it's kind of similar to Donald's as well. So we're gonna go underneath that eye. You're going to come up above the horizontal line, like you're going to create a bridge between the two eyes. Going to hop over that bridge to the right eye. We're going to go up against the right eye, on the right side of it. Come up and over to the side of the circle, a little bit past it. You can come down, kind of create the top part of his bill. On the left side, you can do the same thing, but go up against the left side of the eye. So it's going to get ready to come down and outside that circle and just below the horizontal line. And you can make his bill square or round. If you'd rather have it round, you can. It's been done both ways by a lot of great artists, so whatever you prefer on that. Scrooge's bill is a little bit longer than, let's say, Daisy Duck. Daisy's bill is starting right where the bottom of the circle is. A let's move Scrooge's down just a tiny bit below the bottom of that circle. So we're just going to simply, to start out with, just draw a straight line. Back and forth, nice and easy. And I'm going to actually bring this line over to the right side. I won't go any further than the top of his bill. So I wouldn't go any further than this right here. And we're going to go up. And again, you can make it square or round, whatever way you prefer. Just like that. You don't want to go all the way over to the right. You'll have a lopsided bill. And you come over on the left side. Don't go any further in the top part of his bill. And again, you can angle it up and right back in. And then we'll want to create a thickness in his bill. So what I'm going to do is keep the same thickness as the outside to stay right where the bottom of the circle is, and draw in a curved line to create that illusion that his bill is kind of thicker right there. I wouldn't touch that line to the side. It kind of gives that illusion that it's going to stay together anyway. So we're going to draw a dimple inside the top part of his bill, and this is like a capital T. So we take the inside of the bill, just draw a simple capital T. And on the right side, you can do the same thing, just inside the top part of the bill, draw a capital T. And all you have to do is just bring this down into the lower part of the bill. So we're just going to bring it in so it touches it, and you don't have a hole in Scrooge's bill. Same thing on the right side. And bring that in. Okay. Kind of bring this together. Make sure that your top part of the bill touches, or the upper part of that bill touches the lower part, so it doesn't look like it's got a hole in it. All right. I'm going to go ahead, I usually save the eyes for last, but I'm going to go ahead and show Scrooge's pupils now. For a reason that will come a little bit later here. So we're going to draw in an oval. In the inside corner, I want to recommend drawing in a full oval. Try not to cheat that oval, because you'll run the risk of getting it too close to the inside of the eye and you'll have cross-eyed Scrooge. So try to make sure you keep it away from the, keep that spacing right there. Same thing on the right side. You're going to do the same thing. Just draw in a full oval. And you can do the same thing with the pupils as you did with the top of the eyes. If one of your pupils is a little bit lower than the other, let's just say, just adjust the one that you like, or that you don't like actually, and fits that. And the reason I do his pupils first, because I want to draw through the pupil at the bottom and on top of the bill. And you want to go ahead and create some eyeglasses for Scrooge, because Scrooge has those eyeglasses. And then his ovals for his eyeglasses are horizontal. So they kind of run through the bottom of his eyes on the left side of the vertical line. Nice and easy. And the same thing on the right side, have it run through the bottom of the eye on the right side of the vertical line, right on top of that bill. Okay, just like that. And of course you want to make a little connection point between the eyeglasses. So at the horizontal line, if you want to just trace over that, you can, or just draw a little line in between the eyeglasses. It doesn't really matter. All right, so now you have the top part of the bill and the eyes, and we're going to go ahead and put in the lower bill. And I usually, to help us with that, because that can kind of get a little tricky sometimes, I take the top part of the bill and the bottom part of the bill, and I come down here below the bottom of the bill to the open area that we just had our spacing with, and just make a mark down here. And you're going to actually draw a line from here down to that chin. So you're just going to draw right through the bill. And if you need to sketch it out first, go ahead. And lots of messy lines. Go for it. Tons and tons of lines on your paper. And on the right side, just sketch it out first. So we made that mistake, we can always adjust it. The great thing about art too, you can always recover your drawings. If you don't like it, you're the artist. So you can tell which one you like the best by looking at it. All right, so we're going to darken in the bottom part of his bill and then on the sides here. Now, Scrooge was actually created by Carl Barks in 1947, and he was named after Ebenezer Scrooge in the classic novel Christmas Carol in 1843 is when that one was done. So that's kind of neat. So we start with the little dimple. We're going to go down. Okay. And draw lightly through the bill. Same thing on the right side. Start with the dimple. We're going to go down. And we're going to bring these together. So you're keeping the same spacing all the way around here. Nice and easy. And then we're going to put in a capital V up at the top part of the bill. So we find the vertical line, and you can actually go out to the right to make your right side of your V, and then do the same thing on the left side. So it looks like he can talk to you now. Go back in and kind of touch up some of these lines really quick, kind of smooth them out. And we'll go in with the top part of his head now, since we got all that in there. One of my favorite things that Scrooge is in is DuckTales. So you might recognize them in that too as well. We're going to actually draw in his eyebrows. So we're going to actually act like it's an umbrella. You want to curve up and around. Usually the inside part of the eyebrow is the shorter one. The outside is the longer one. So we start inside the circle. You want to come up, top of the head, and then bring it right back around. And just kind of leave it a little bit shorter near the top. Same thing on the right side. Start up to the top of the head and roll it around. Okay, so we can go ahead and trace over the top part of the head in between the two eyebrows. We'll go ahead and get that in there. And if you want to do just the top part of the head on the left side and the right side, leave the sides free right now, because we're going to put in his sideburns, and he is an elder duck, so he's got little gray sideburns in there. He is the grand uncle of Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and kind of adopted them in DuckTales while Donald was away in the Navy. So we're going to go in next and draw in his hat. We'll come back to his hair later. So what I like to do is always suggest to draw through the forms. If you draw through the forms, it's going to get you a better feel of how things sit onto his head more. So actually just find about halfway point of the eyes and just draw a smiley face right through that circle. Back and forth, keeping it very light though, because we're drawing through the forms, and you're going to erase these lines when you get home. And we're going to bring this right back around and right back into that vertical line. So right now we're just sketching it out. We're not going to worry too much on what it looks like. We'll fix that in just a little bit. On the left side, we'll bring it back around. So it kind of looks like a hot dog bun. And I want to put a hot dog in it, kind of get a little bit of a thickness in his hat too as well. So we'll do like a little hot dog peeping up on top of that bun. There. Again, we'll kind of sketch that out. And some of you may be looking at your drawings and one side of the bill is bigger than the other. There's an easy way you can fix it. You look at the vertical line and the left side of the hat, and you can take your fingers and move it over to the right side. And that's something that might help you out there too as well. You can also take your paper and flip it upside down, and that also will help you out and see if your lines need an adjustment on it. And then the top part of his hat, he's got a tall hat. So you can use the side of your eyebrow and bring it up toward that peg here. And on the right side, you're going to draw a straight line, but we're curving it out to the right. We'll kind of keep that little curve there. And then we're going to actually bring it around. So I'm going to actually take my paper off the pegs here for just a second. And then bring these together and kind of keep that nice roundness of his hat. We don't want too much of a point on the sides there. We want to keep that round. Again, we sketched it out, okay, at first. And then we can go in there, we can darken in all of your bill, if you like your bill, and just kind of smooth that line out nice and easy on the round. And the same thing on the left side. I'm going to take the top part, just kind of trace over this area too as well. Bring it over to the right. In Mickey's Christmas Carol, you might find a lot of those classic Disney characters. Mickey was in it. It's Bob Cratchit. Jiminy Cricket as the Ghost of Christmas Past. You might even find an appearance by Chip and Dale, and even Daisy Duck in there too. And of course Donald Duck's in there. So you'll find all kinds of Disney characters, and then it's still my all-time favorite Christmas Carol movie is Mickey's Christmas Carol. Our John Lasseter actually worked on that film. Many of you probably know who John Lasseter is. And then we'll draw in a little curved line for the band in his hat, his little ribbon. So we'll just go up above the brim, come up and around, nice and easy. Keeping it light and loose at first, and then just go over your lines and sketch and darken it in there. Just always a quick sketch. You can go back in, you can erase your lines, or I would actually keep them in there so you can kind of learn from it the next time you draw it. And then the last step is to go ahead and put in his hair, his sideburns. They're actually gray sideburns. And you can do something different on one side as you do the other side. So maybe you do 4 over here and 5 over here. You can mix it up and make it look a little bit different. So let's just go in there, and I want you to have fun. In fact, let's sketch it in first really quick so you can kind of get a fun feel to it. Just nice and easy little zigzags, curving down. Just kind of make it fun. You can bring it down to where the bill is. And then the same thing on the right side, just kind of go in there and just draw lots of fun hair. All right, so you've got lots of fun hairs. I'll play around with it so you can have fun with it too as well. And drawing should be about fun. Go ahead and get this in there. And then we're going to actually draw a little straight line at an angle from the top of the bill up into the hair. And the same thing on the right side. Okay. Top of the bill up into the hair. And that way you can kind of get a little bit of the texture for the hair in there. And you can actually shade really, really lightly for the hair, so it can look like he's got gray feathers. And then you can shade in the eyes. And I just do a very quick sketch, so you just shade at an angle from top left corner to bottom right corner. And the same thing on the right side. And shade from top left corner to bottom right corner. Some things to kind of be careful with when you shade is try not to have your shading overpower your lines. So you go back in over your lines and kind of trace over those to kind of fix that up. And you can shade in his hat again if you want to. That's a little bit darker than his bands. Same thing at the bottom of part, the brim of his hat. And if you want to do a really light sketch over his eyes, because his eyes are blue to show contrast between his eyes and his feathers there. Sometimes I'll put little dollar signs in his glasses. If you want to do that just for fun, you can. But the last step, of course, as you do with any drawing, you must sign your artwork and you must date it too as well. So that way you always know when you can look back at it and practice it each time you draw it. Okay. So there you go. That's Scrooge McDuck from Mickey's Christmas Carol. Come see me and my fellow artists here at the Magic of Disney Animation. We'll show you how to draw a whole bunch of Disney characters. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. And as Tiny Tim says, and God bless us, everyone.